Hi, this is lesson 3. In this course, we shall be looking at the Python conditional statement. Now, we want to go more deeper into understanding all that we have learned so far and then stating some conditions that can make it more real to solve some specific problems. So, we're going to have lesson 3.py. So lesson 3.py here. Okay, let me clear out this place. So you're going to learn what's a Python conditional statement. So this is what we're going to learn. Now, there are two important conditional statements we make in programming language across every programming language. Number one is what we call the if statement. If statement. And number two is what we call the else statement. So, as a matter of fact, these two conditions form the whole basic idea of every man's endeavor. So, relating these statements into programming to be able to assess man's intelligence and to solve his or her problem is one of the beautiful aspects of programming language, because every day of our lives we set statements, conditions to achieve a task. So you get to find out that every morning you make decisions like, if I do this particular thing, it's going to yield this thing. So I am going out today. So if I go out, I'm going to get this particular thing. But if I'm not able to achieve it, then I'm going to focus on this particular thing. So the conditions you're setting is that if a particular thing is not working, or when you don't get it, then another thing should happen. So it's you're setting conditions for yourself to fulfill a task or to achieve a task for the day. So it's likewise the same thing here, because bringing this if and else statement to this place will give us a good headway to solve man's problem, and we're going to look into how to use it to solve actually some problems relating to human life. So first of all, you're going to define what is an if statement and what is an else statement. So I'm going to say if statement states that a condition must be true, and the else statement states that the first condition given must return false. So that is it. So what it means is that if the first condition is not found to be true, which it must return true for the first condition to be legitimate. But if the first condition is not true, then the second condition, which is the else statement, will be activated, will be legitimate. So let's take, for example, Vic. Vic says that by 7 a.m. he will boil some water to prepare for his work. by 8 a.m. But if there is no light to boil the water, he will use the cold water. Now, what this statement means is that Victor will boil water by 7 a.m. when he gets up from his bed to prepare for his work, on the condition that if there will be a NEPA light, for example, then Victor will boil water by 7 a.m. to prepare for his work. But if there's no NEPA lights, then he will use the cold water. So this first condition, if it returns true, then the if statement will be legitimate or activated. But if it doesn't return true, it happens that there's no NEPA light, it means it's going to fall back to the false because the first condition is no longer legitimate. It is a false condition. So we are now working to ensure that we understand that this statement solves real life issues. Now, let's go further to see how you can be able to use this to solve Victor's problem. So Victor is stating here, this is how we get started with the conditional statements. So I'm going to say if is a keyword that activates the conditional statement called if. So if Vic, now I'm going to set a variable that stores Vic here. So I'm going to set a variable that stores Vic. Vic is true. Let me use this variable and just store true inside Vic. So I say if Vic is true, right? It should print Vic is going to prepare. I should print this. Vic says that by 7 o'clock he will boil water. So that is when Vic is true, when there is NEPA light. That is what this true means. So I can say else Vic should be printed the otherwise. So I'm going to say else here. I'm going to say else here. Okay, I can say there's no light. I say there is no light as planned. So Vic will fall back to use the cold water or the cold water. So I can do away with these guys here. So, yep. Do with these guys here. So this is the conditional statement, and we have stated this. So you're going to see, let's try to print this guy here and see which one is printing for us. Vic says that by 7 a.m. he will boil some water to prepare for his work by 8 a.m. So the output says, Vic says that by 7 a.m. he will boil some water to prepare for his work by 8 a.m. Now, why is he printing this for us? Because perhaps there is light and the condition is true. So Victor returns true. So I'm going to change this condition and say, what if there's no light? And I set a false here, and then I'm going to print this. I'm going to say, oh, there is no light as planned, so Vic will fall back to use the cold water. There are some errors in my typing here. Don't mind that. Focus on this thing you're learning. Yeah, these are typo errors. So there's no light as planned, so Vic will fall back to use the cold water. Yep. So I can also make this to return true or false. So that is how we use conditional statements oftentimes to solve problems. So we're going to see how we can use it more and more in our works. So what you're going to do here is, first of all, write a statement that shows that variable x is greater than variable y. So you're going to write a statement that shows true. When variable x is greater than variable y. So that is one of the conditions you're going to write. And then let me give another one. You're going to write another condition that tells if 25 is divisible by 2 without a remainder. Number 3, you are going to write a statement that prints I love Python programming, else it should output I hate Python programming. Yep. So you're going to play with these 3, and then in our next lesson we shall be looking more details how to solve complex works with all that we have learned, from the variables to data types to operators and down to conditional statement.